So, artificial intelligence is already in our classrooms, and it's sparking one of the most intense debates in modern education. Is it this incredible, revolutionary tool that could help our totally overburdened schools, or is it a threat to the very nature of learning itself?
To really get a handle on this, let's look at what K-12 teachers actually think. A 2023 Pew Research survey shows that the people on the front lines are, well, deeply divided. Only a tiny 6% believe AI does more good than harm, while a full quarter see it as mostly harmful. But look at that biggest group. They see an equal mix of both. What that tells us is that we're in this moment of profound uncertainty.
So, to unpack all of this, we're going to explore the debate from every angle. We'll start with why AI is showing up in classrooms right now. Then we'll look at its incredible promise, examine the very real risks, and then chart a path forward to what could be the future of learning. Okay, first up, let's set the stage. AI's arrival in education is happening at a really critical time, mainly because the system is already facing a massive crisis. We're talking about a nationwide teacher shortage that's just getting worse. In the 2022-23 school year alone, there were 55,000 vacant teaching positions. That's a 60% jump from the year before. With so many amazing teachers leaving the profession, schools are desperately looking for solutions. And for some, that includes technology like AI. And this brings us right to the central question framing our entire discussion. Can this technology really help solve a deep, human-centered problem like the teacher shortage? Or is it just going to create a whole new set of challenges for students and educators? All right, let's start with the optimistic view. Proponents argue that AI is not here to replace teachers, not at all. Instead, it's here to become their most powerful assistant, freeing them up to do what they do best. Think about the traditional model, right? You've got one teacher trying to meet the needs of 30 different students. It almost forces them to teach to the middle, which can leave some students totally behind and others completely bored. Well, the AI-supported classroom could flip this on its head. It makes personalized learning plans possible, allowing the teacher to shift from being a lecturer to more of a supportive mentor, a guide who can focus on each student's individual progress. So how does this personalization actually work? Well, an AI can pinpoint exactly what a student knows and where they're struggling. Then it can tailor lessons to their interests. So, for example, a student who thinks they're just bad at math could learn fractions by following a recipe for a cake. Because they get to work at their own pace without feeling judged, they can build real confidence through mastering the material. And this totally transforms the teacher's role. Imagine AI handling all of the repetitive stuff, lesson planning, grading papers. That frees up educators to dedicate their time to the truly irreplaceable human parts of teaching, one-on-one mentoring, motivation, and emotional support. And that shift is what allows for those deep, meaningful connections that are really at the heart of the profession.
But of course, this technological revolution isn't without its risks, and educators and parents have raised some really serious concerns that we absolutely need to talk about.
This quote from the U.S. Department of Education gets right to the heart of the problem. You see, AI operates on data and algorithms. It has zero cultural context, no nuance, no empathy. Those are things that are essential to good teaching. It just can't understand a student's lived experience. And when you ask future teachers what worries them the most, their concerns are crystal clear. A study of pre-service teachers found that two-thirds believe AI reduces student effort and critical thinking. A majority are also concerned it encourages plagiarism and that students might start relying on false information or even lose their own unique problem-solving skills.
You know, it's also really revealing to see where students themselves draw the line. A Pew Research survey of teens shows a pretty clear hierarchy of what they think is okay. A big majority, 69%, say it's fine for researching topics, but that number just plummets to 20% when you ask about writing an entire essay. This suggests that even they understand there's a line, even if the temptation to cross it is there. And beyond cheating lies a much more subtle, but maybe even more significant risk: algorithmic discrimination. An AI might recommend placing a student in a lower-level class based on biased or incomplete data. And as the Department of Education warns, because that recommendation comes from a computer, it can look totally objective and authoritative, which could end up reinforcing existing inequities in our schools.
So, with such high stakes, how do we possibly move forward? The key, it seems, lies in building a framework that harnesses AI's potential while protecting us from all of its risks. The key concept here is what experts call human in the loop. Now, this isn't just some buzzword. It's a foundational principle. In practice, it means an AI might suggest a learning path for a student, but the teacher always makes the final call after talking it through with them. It ensures technology serves as a guide, not a gatekeeper.
This principle can actually be broken down into a pretty clear policy framework. The Department of Education recommends 4 foundations for responsible AI, always centering people, actively fighting bias, ensuring data safety, and promoting transparency so that teachers actually understand how these tools work. These aren't just suggestions, they are essential guardrails.
And all of this brings us to a new vision for the future of education. The focus isn't really on the AI itself, but on the new possibilities it creates for teachers and for students. Ultimately, AI's real impact isn't just about making lesson planning more efficient. It has the potential to fundamentally redefine what it means to be a teacher, elevating the profession from just delivering information to fostering human connection, critical thinking, and true mentorship. This brings us to what is probably the single most important message of this entire explainer. The technology is a tool. And just like any tool, its power for good or for harm rests entirely in the hands of the people who use it. Its ultimate value will be determined by our wisdom in guiding it. So that leaves us with one final, critical question. As we stand at this technological crossroads, the challenge for all of us, educators, parents, policymakers, is to figure out how we design a future where technology serves our students' humanity and not the other way around.